Hey everybody, Neil Malik with Knack Training here, bringing you another Everyday Office video. And today's video is 19 of the most important keyboard and mouse shortcuts that you can use in Microsoft Word for selection and navigation purposes. Please check out the link down in the description to be able to download the PDF guide that has the same techniques described in it. So as you can see here, I am at the beginning of a multi-page document. And as I decide to move through this document, I have some navigation techniques that I can use using nothing more than my keyboard. So to begin with, if I want to move one letter at a time through the document, I can use my left and right arrow keys on the keyboard to move one character at a time. But what not a lot of people know is that if you hold the Control key down while using the left and right arrows, you'll actually go one word at a time through that document. So Control right arrow will skip over words to the right, and Control left arrow will skip over words to the left. In the same way, you can use the up and down arrows. So if I'm on line number 1 in paragraph number 1, the down arrow will take me to line number 2 of this paragraph. The down arrow will take me to line number 3 of this paragraph. But if I use the exact same up and down arrows, but I hold the Control key while I do it, Control down arrow will take me to the beginning of the second paragraph. And then Control down arrow will take me to the beginning of the third paragraph. If I use Control up arrow, you see it takes me to the beginning of each paragraph along the way. If I want to move not a paragraph or a word at a time, but rather one page at a time, Control page down on the keyboard will take me to the beginning of page number 2. And then Control page down will take me to the beginning of page number 3. Control page up will take me to the beginning of page number 2, and Control page up will take me to the beginning of page number 1. And if ultimately I'd like to skip over the entirety of the document, either going to the very beginning or the very end, Control End on my keyboard takes me to the end of the document, and Control Home on the keyboard takes me to the beginning of that document. So these are the ways that we can navigate through the document. But what's kind of interesting here is that if I use those exact same techniques, but hold the Shift key while I use them, I'm actually going to be able to select a number of different things very quickly and very easily. So if I hold down the Shift key and I use the right arrow, for example, you can see I go one letter at a time, one character at a time through the document. But if I use Control and Shift with the right arrow, you see it skips one word at a time and allows me to select an entire word, an entire word, an entire word. And if I go back to the left, you see it's allowing me to deselect the word help. Control Shift right arrow allows me to select the word help. Control Shift left arrow allows me to deselect the word help. In the same way, if I use the down arrow, if I hold down the Shift key and I use the down arrow, I have selected the entire first line of this paragraph. Shift key down arrow, the entire second line of the paragraph. But if I hold down Control and Shift simultaneously, while I use the down arrow, now I can select one entire paragraph at a time. Control Shift down arrow, Control Shift down arrow, Control Shift down arrow allows me to select one paragraph at a time through the entirety of the document. Now, an important shortcut everybody should know about in every one of the Microsoft products and really every piece of software you run into is that Control A is the keyboard shortcut in basically every program for Select All. So if I want to select every single letter, every character, every space in this entire document, Control A allows me to select the entirety of the document. But in between those things, there are a number of different things I might want to be able to select quickly, and especially if I don't want to always go to my keyboard for it. So for example, if I go to any word in my document and I double click that word, you'll notice that I select the entirety of the word. But if I triple click, that's 1, 2, 3, 3 clicks in a row on any paragraph, notice it also selects the entirety of the paragraph. So if you're already navigating through a document and you find a paragraph that you'd like to select, simply triple click that paragraph and the entirety of the paragraph is selected at that point. So double clicking selects a word, triple clicking selects a paragraph. What's interesting is that if I hold the Control key on my keyboard while clicking, watch as I do this, Control click on any sentence, and you can see there from period to period, or question mark to question mark, exclamation point to exclamation point, it selects the entirety of that sentence for me. In the same way that I was able to select an entire line with my keyboard, I can also bring my mouse to the left margin of my document, and by clicking to the left of any line in my document, it allows me to select that specific line. If I'm in this same space, and instead of single clicking, I double click, you'll notice that double clicking in the left-hand margin to the side of any paragraph allows you to select the entirety of that paragraph. And finally, if I triple click, 1, 2, 3, triple clicking to the left of any paragraph selects the entirety of the document in the same way that Control A does.